Okay, so brown parents don't believe in therapy. Lilly Singh posted this video a while back, and Ronnie shared it with us because he is a therapist himself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Worker.
we're like right. Like right.
Just making
He's
sure.
like no. Scrap the previous video.
No,
the other video.
because I always get the social worker and the therapist mixed up.
Funny. Well, I'm a social worker / therapist.
Okay.
I'm a social worker who acts as a therapist.
Yes.
Yeah.
And you work for
Punjabi Community Health Services, Manitoba.
okay. And PCHS is Canada-wide.
Canada-wide, yeah. And we're Canada-wide, but we have our own individual chapters. We're not really like connected to each PCHS, but we work in collaboration with other PCHS chapters.
Yes. And you guys are non-for-profit?
Non-for-profit, yeah.
Okay, so if you need any help services, the description I'll have all the information to get how to contact PCHS.
And also we've obtained a charitable status. So if you have extra money you want to donate, feel free to donate to it.
So wow.
I was waiting for that.
Yeah, we didn't.
It's okay.
Not agreed. No, I'm joking.
That's okay. You said
yes. Donate. Okay, we're donating. You guys should be donating too. All right, let's talk about this video.
What up, everyone? It's your girl, Lilly. And let's be real, okay? Brown parents don't believe in therapy. Actually, you know what? Okay, I shouldn't generalize. Let's just say, in my experience, 100% of the time, without exception in the history of this galaxy, I've never met a brown parent who believed in therapy. Brown parents don't understand mental health. Okay, it's like, why do you think that you get a say in how I feel? I just feel like, just...
See, I already have a problem with this.
I have a huge problem.
I already have a problem with this because brown parents, okay, she's generalizing. She's saying she's not generalizing, but then she generalized. 1. 2, like the people that don't understand therapy are the people that are like either first immigrant or they're new.
Right.
Because therapy is more a Western culture, not back home.
Right. My first problem with it is, again, like, it's like if she doesn't know something in her life and somebody coming up and just making fun of that, like your parents didn't know about therapy.
Yeah.
They're not from that generation. So why make fun of them because they don't know something?
Exactly.
You know what I mean? I also think that one of the things like in this video, one thing I noticed was just that when she says that they don't believe in therapy, I think because in India we grew up in a more of a collectivist culture,
right?
Like we have like uncles, aunts, my grandparents, and we're very close to our neighbors. Mm-hmm. There's always somebody there that you could find that you can intimately just discuss some of the stuff going on for you, right? And I think therapy, from my perspective, it's more of like a Eurocentric creation because a lot of people feel isolated, or even and I'll use the word capitalism again. I think people just feel isolated. They are unsure as to who they can trust. So in many ways, your confidant or someone that you want someone to work through challenges with you, that becomes like a paid position as well in your life.
Very good.
I'm not sure that makes sense.
Yeah,
that makes
good
sense.
point. Makes sense.
Good point.
Say something.
Oh my
Kids
God.
these days always complaining about something. I'm too happy. I'm too sad.
Don't bring up my phone.
I never hear you complain too much phone.
Okay, Mom, therapy is important. Okay, it helps me deal with certain issues.
Issues? Why'd you have issues, huh? You magazine?
I don't know. Okay, but sometimes I have low self-esteem.
Low self-esteem. Every day you bloody have 15 million idiots kissing your bum, okay? Why'd you have low self-esteem?
Well, let's just say that growing up was hard. Hello, Auntie G.
Hello, Lily.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Your face getting quite bad, huh?
What?
So many pimples. You wash your face?
Yes, I wash my face.
How many times?
Every morning,
Which soap you use?
A good one.
No, can't be. Okay, look how bad you're breaking out.
Oh, I didn't think.
I'm going to get you name of one soap my cousin used. She used to have dirty face like this, and then she used and everything cleared up.
I don't think.
You eating oily foods maybe?
No.
Chocolate? You eating chocolate? Then touch your face?
Why would I do that?
Okay, don't worry. We fix you up. Okay? Huh?
One thing I see with that is I think that a lot of like Punjabi people, like they're still kind of adapting to like the culture here, but still bringing in the culture from back home in India, right? And I think like sometimes they don't know how to like say things. I think people within our community are just very blunt.
Yeah.
Right. And I think that becomes hurtful, and people are just like they're not saying it with like the same tact as like a person as a Westerner would say something, and I think sometimes and I think there is like the idea like kids that have grown up here, sometimes we end up over personalizing some comments made by our elders without really understanding where that comment is actually coming from.
Yeah.
Or is it just oversensitivity to it too? Maybe come on, man. So like grow up something.
Yeah. Grow up.
Seriously.
Yeah.
Like
no, but the thing is the way that they're showing their love and the way that they show affection is asking questions like these, right? I don't know.
Yeah, you could just take it in like a lighthearted way too, instead of taking it so offensively. Like we all grew up in that to some level. Like I was told things, and I have friends that are even now told exactly that. Like, and they're in their like late 30s, and they still take offense to it. They're like, "Oh my gosh, she said this to me." I'm like, "Well, you know, kind of true. I'm sorry with this person. This one comment. I'm like, maybe whatever."
No, it doesn't have to be like. Here's the thing: if a stranger came and said those things to me, right?
Yeah.
If a stranger Punjabi person that's fully blunt, because that's the thing, I would rather have somebody be blunt. But if a stranger did that, then I'd be offended. Okay. But if it's somebody like your auntie that you know, or somebody that is around your family, they grew up around you, or they've seen you grow up, and they make a comment about your appearance, I think you just gotta take it as in like, okay, they might not have said it in the cleanest way.
Right.
They're not gonna be like, "Oh, bacha, sit down," like
there's no filter, man.
Yeah.
They don't have a filter. They're just kind of nice.
Yeah.
I don't mind that.
Would you not prefer to have somebody that's just blunt and straight up about what they see than
Honest, the honesty part.
Yeah. Might be, you could say it nicer. Okay. The other thing is, it just might be me. Okay. Lilly Singh's comedy is not my forte.
Not even close.
So
I don't find any of it funny.
I don't. Yeah.
I watch it and just like, it's not funny.
I actually kind of find it funny. I'm sorry.
You find it funny?
Yeah, I think
We'll call you back next time. You're off the show.
No. Okay. There's other artists like Just Rain who does the same sort of videos.
Funny.
But very funny.
Yeah.
He does it
Like
in a
Just
very
Rain.
funny way. I don't know. Maybe we're just subjective. Comedy subjective.
comedy is subjective.
Exactly.
Motto?
What?
Gain a little weight, huh? That's okay. Stop eating samosas. I didn't think that will help with pimples too, huh? I didn't think. Just kidding. Have one more. Don't be rude. Good girl.
Aunties have no filter.
Oh, okay. You want everything to be sugar coated, huh? Maybe that's why you gain weight.
Okay, calm down. Okay, that's not the only thing. I'm an adult, full-fledged adult, and I have a hard time being intimate with people.
What the bloody hell do you mean intimate with the people?
Okay, well, you always scared me about that stuff.
Lily, it is time to have little talk. Okay, there are girls and then there are boys. Yeah. And the boys and girls have different pee-pee area. How? Well, girls have a pee-pee inside and the boys have a pee-pee outside.
Huh. Okay.
And sometimes a boy's pee-pee can touch a girl's pee-pee, and when that happens, we call it shame.
Then what happens?
Well, then you get something called STD.
What's that?
Sexually transmitted death.
I think that's just like I think in our community we've never really had open conversations about sex and stuff within homes.
Yeah.
And I don't think that's really just the Indian community per se. I think it's a lot of immigrant community. That's one of the reasons they created sex education in our public health school curriculum.
Yes.
Right. And I think this might not even just be like an Indian problem. I think that maybe Lilly is overgeneralizing it. Whereas I think a lot of European communities, I have a lot of friends who were like Portuguese and Italian growing up, and their parents were saying very similar things to them about sex and whatnot, sex and intimacy growing up. None of them were like flat out like encouraging or anything. They were just saying, "Well, you got to do this," and especially some of my Catholic friends, they were very strict.
Oh yeah.
When it came down to this kind of stuff.
Do you think immigrant parents don't have these, like, I don't know where she's getting this skit from, because maybe she had this experience.
Yeah.
I don't know if for immigrant parents are at all having this conversation, which is fine because it's an awkward conversation. One,
Sorry.
right?
Yeah.
Two, it's in schools for a reason, right? And
Right.
so I think that's where I think the first generation, or after you start, second generation or third, and then they start having conversations, you're a little bit more.
I think it's always gonna be an awkward conversation, man.
Yeah.
Like none of us have kids. If any of us have kids, it's still gonna be an awkward conversation.
Yeah.
I don't think I'd be doing it that way
No.
if that's how it was done.
Yeah.
Which I don't think it was, but
Death. So you understand what I'm telling you? If you hold a hand with boys before marriage, you will get pregnant and die.
can you pause it for a sec? I think one thing that I have a huge issue with is that if you were to go out into the world today, I'm just going to put this out there because it's my feelings, but if somebody was talking to you in a different accent and you imitated that person, you would be like somebody would be like, well, what the hell is that?
Yeah.
You can't do that. That's like a very disrespectful thing to do. You know what I mean? Like if you go to a different country and somebody's speaking to you in a different tone or they have a full-on accent and you imitate that person. Remember that there was that one video where the black guy made fun of that Indian person
Yeah.
on campus turned
Yeah.
into this whole thing. I have issue with that.
Yeah.
And then the fact that like a lot of her comedy is just 95% just like imitating her parents' accent.
Mm-hmm.
That's like a no-go for me. I think that's just really disrespectful.
It is.
That's just me. Like if you, it's just disrespectful, man. Like your parents had an accent when they came here.
Yeah.
You're lucky that they came here and that you're here now. Like we all are, right? And then you spend like every waking hour just imitating their voice.
Yeah.
And that's what it comes down to. So I don't find any of that. I think I just find it highly disrespectful.
I think
to your parents.
Yeah.
I'm sure her parents see some of this stuff.
they see all of it.
I mean, maybe they don't care, but I just think, again, if you go out into the world and you do the exact same thing, you probably get punched in the face.
Yeah.
Like it's not a cool thing.
You guys are definitely changing my opinion on Lilly Singh as this competition go forward.
Let it. It's true. If I go outside, I'm like, my dad said this to me, and I make fun of his voice. That's disrespectful to my dad, like
Yeah.
big time.
Yeah.
Like 'cause that's nothing more really disrespectful than you're imitating your parents' voice because they, didn't speak English at all, and they came here and they learned it, which is
And I think
very difficult at that age, like late 20s, early 30s. Like try learning a language now, like all of us. It's not easy.
No, it's
I
not
tried.
easy at all.
I'm still figuring that out.
I'm trying to relearn Punjabi, and a lot of people don't think my Punjabi is very good.
Exactly, and it's like tough, right?
Yeah,
So,
it's very
anyways,
challenging.
that's kind of a sidebar, but that just
No, I also agree though, because I don't know. Like I always used to watch, like growing up, Lilly Singh, Just Rain, AK Amazing, right? I used to watch all their videos, and because they were the first like people really in the community that did Punjabi
imitations and stuff like that. Yeah.
But I always wondered what their parents felt when they, because my parents watch our videos all the time,
Right.
Yeah, you could even throw in Russell Peters in that, and then that mix as well too.
Yeah, I always wonder how those guys, like in the name of entertainment, how much are you exposing or how much disrespect are you putting towards your parents? And it might not, a lot of people might not think that way, but I don't know.
I just think like if you look at like Just Rain, Lilly Singh, and even like Russell Peters kind of started this whole thing.
Yeah.
Like on a really big worldwide scale.
Yeah.
I think it seeps into like other people's heads too, right? Like you're making fun of the Indian language.
Yeah,
And their accent, and then you see there's like 1 million people watching you. And then it just goes viral. Not everybody makes fun of it.
and I think it also gives permission to like
100%.
people who aren't Indian to make fun of the accent,
100%,
make fun of the voices and whatnot. Like sure, you could kind of like okay, this is. I do find when my dad says some words to be kind of humorous.
It is,
but I don't really go up to him and start like making fun of advertising his accent
Exactly.
or like.
Yeah.
I think it's cool. Anyways.
Now go wash your hand, okay? Dinner almost ready. Did I lie? This is science.
The first time I held a boy's hand, I cried, Mom. Okay, I was in high school.
Okay, good for you. Maybe you should be more modest.
Okay, how can I be in a relationship if I can't be intimate with somebody?
You see, this is the problem with your bloody generation, okay? Your dad and I only need one thing to be in a relationship. You know what this is? Marriage date.
And don't even get me started on trusting people. Okay, I have major trust issues.
Hello, Lilly.
Oh, Mom. Hi. Sorry, I lost track of time.
Where were you?
Priya's house, studying.
You sure? Yeah. You don't have to lie to me, Lilly, okay? I won't be mad.
What are you talking about?
I want to know what my daughter is doing.
Yeah, and I told you.
I don't want to be scary, Mom, okay? I want us to be friends.
For real?
For real, huh? I won't be mad, I promise, okay? You can trust me.
Okay. Okay, well, I went to a party.
You grounded for 2 months. Idiot.
Mom! Yeah, that and the 900 times that I was excited to eat ice cream, but it was actually curry in the container.
Okay, sorry, I didn't know Ziploc container grow on my head. What else, huh?
Well, my therapist says that I'm scared of being judged.
From what?
Hey, Mom, I was thinking.
What will people think? What will our neighbors think?
What will a family think?
Que va pensar la gente?
What will strangers think?
Well, I guess the question back to therapy, like what's your thoughts on that, like in terms of
Well, I think what she's just talking more about the therapy that she's actually asking for is how do I fit in better within the dominant discourse, right? Like you were just talking about issues, like I think the big thing is I think a lot of people within like I hate to use the word minority communities, but minority communities, a lot of them just have challenges fitting in into the mainstream discourse. And I think what she's talking about when it comes to therapy for herself in general there is like, I'm not fitting in because of the cultural messages I received from my mom. Like, it's not necessarily saying that she's having like, there's nothing in there that I can really identify as being like a major mental health crises. Like she's not, doesn't seem that she's really suffering from anxiety or depression, or doesn't seem there's any personality stuff. It's just more about, this is my family and I don't know how my family dynamics relate to other people who are non-Indian, that they might not be able to understand it. That's what I think she's really that's what I think her video theoretically should be about. It doesn't really say a lot about like, hey, I'm having trouble, challenges getting to bed.
Serious video on
like, you know what I mean? And I think that's my thought that just comes to mind right now as I'm like really rewatching it.
Yeah. So in this little segment here, where she's saying about like, what will people think? Well, parents have always said that. I've heard it a few.
Yeah, we've all heard that.
Everybody's said that. Do you think that makes us better in the future?
Well, I think what it is I think we kind of like, again, like I remember at the beginning when I talked about us being just a collectivist type of society. I think there was some benefit of having what people thought of us to be important, because it kept our behaviors honest.
Yeah.
Right. And kept our intentions more pure. Yeah. But I think the idea of like I think that's where the disconnect comes from an older generation to our generation, because we're taught to be like fiercely independent and not give two shits about like what people think about us.
Yeah.
Right. We're taught to be like, try to be have your own sense of self, and that's kind of ingrained in us through our culture here in North America. Our education system, you go out and it's very rarely you see somebody like doing something to help another person out or go out of their way. And everybody's more about themselves. And I think when we say what will people think, I think what we're saying is, like, are we doing it to further the whole society as a collective, or are we just doing it just to enhance our own like personal interest and agenda?
Yeah.
And that's why I kind of look at it.
Interesting take on it.
This is why he's a therapist.
That's why he's a therapist.
That's why I'm a therapist.
I'm not saying anything. Does this go anywhere else, or does she just keep?
I think she goes back in this for a while.
Now playing, What Will People Think?
Oh, I never said before like this.
Okay, you know what? That's fine. I'm gonna go to therapy because I care about my mental health, okay? Maybe you should too.
No, that's okay. I never went to therapy, and look at me. I turned out great.
Clearly. Okay, we're done here.
Okay, bye everyone. Oi, Lily. Bye.
Thoughts? Last thoughts?
Yeah, I mean, obviously therapy is a good thing if you're going through stuff, right? I mean, you see
definitely
a lot of people.
No, I think therapy can be very beneficial to a lot of people. I also think that one thing that, again, in that video is just like, she didn't really seem to have like that relationship with her mom where therapy may not be needed. I think that's the thing. I think she's again defining like cultural difference in cultural values.
Yeah.
For me, I don't know. When I look at this video, it just kind of makes me think that like a lot of brown, like when we watch these videos, we want to blame somebody and we want to blame our parents, like especially with immigrants, right? But immigrants, the first thing they do is they start blaming their parents for all their problems when they don't really see the outside issues. Like our parents have never wanted nothing but the best for you.
Yeah.
Right? They want the best for their child in any way possible. If
We love blaming parents, though, eh?
we love it.
Holy shit!
I don't
So
get-
many videos that you see now, just like,
Yeah.
well, if my parents did this right, then I wouldn't be in this situation.
Yeah.
Or if they had opened up to me more when I was a kid, I wouldn't be like this right now. It's like your parents took you up to a certain point, man.
Yeah.
Like, it's called bloping.
What's it called?
Bloping. It's blame-based coping.
Really?
They call it bloping.
Bloping.
Yeah.
Can you put that on the tag? Bloping?
Yeah.
Blame-based.
But blame-based coping. It's like, it's rather than me
Never
taking
heard-
responsibility for my own behaviors, I'm gonna blame somebody else. It's like a social work term,
Can
Yeah.
you? Yeah, we should.
Bloping, bloping. That's what my friend always calls it. This person is bloping.
Okay.
That's such a good. Yeah, we blope a lot. Can you
Yeah.
do that? We blope a lot.
Blopula, yeah.
Blow up.
Well, I think also is like us not taking responsibility for a lot of our own behaviors is what's the main problem in our society in general. No one takes responsibility for anything. You go from the highest politician to the lowest person.
Yeah.
Everybody, and maybe even the businesses, is never their fault when something happens. I'm only doing this because you did this. It's like, well, what are you doing in response, right? Take responsibility for your shit, man.
Yeah,
That's why
especially in our culture, that's a big one.
Yeah.
Punjabis and bloping, man, or Indians and bloping.
Yeah.
And actually, I actually this in my last note is I met an indigenous elder like a few months ago, and one thing that she taught me was the most spiritual people are the ones that take the most responsibility for their own actions. And spirituality involves responsibility, and I think without responsibility, you can't necessarily be spiritual.
Well said.
Well said. Yeah.
That's a good closing remark.
Yeah. Well, it's a heavy topic.
Good conversation. Yeah.
Yeah, and you guys let us know your guys' thoughts on this. Would you guys say brown people deserve therapy or not? Right?
Well, stop bloping.
Stop bloping, please. All right.
I heard something.
We'll see you guys in the next video. Make sure you guys let us know your guys' thoughts. Comment down below. Share the video. We'll see you guys in the next piece.
Peace. Thank you.